Welcome back to our lesson. So in this video, we are going to talk about the second objectives, which is psychological underpinning of physical education. Through this, we will see the strength and the whys the curricularists put all the contents of the curriculum framework of physical education. Now, let us start to physical literacy. As children refine their motor skills, they are able to help themselves by completing daily activities independently. For example, children between the ages of 2 and 3 are able to put on and taking off simplistic articles of clothing by Craig Hermes and Digdon 2001.
Please read the implication.
They are able to manipulate clothing with zippers, use spoons, string together beads with large holes, and open doors with doorknobs. When children are between the ages of 3 and 4, they are able to manipulate clothing with larger buttons, use scissors to cut paper, and are able to copy simple lined shapes using a pencil. By the time children are 4 to 5 years old, they are able to dress and undress themselves without
Kindly read the implication.
Toys that require a child to manipulate it with their fingers and hands can be categorized as a manipulative. Manipulative materials enhance fine motor development because they require controlled use of hand and finger muscles. Manipulative involve coordinating the eye to what the hands are needed to do. Some manipulative toys, such as puzzles, are self-correcting, fitting together in only one specific way.
Please read the implication.
Another way to assist a child who is having difficulties developing their fine motor skills is to provide the child with proper positioning of their hands and body in order to accomplish tasks. Keep in mind that trunk stability is necessary for good mobility of the arms, hands, and fingers.
Please read the implication.
Developmental levels of hopping and jumping illustrate how further improvement in the child's ability to harness properties of the body and its relation to gravity enable them to safely use greater forces to propel the body away from support surfaces.
Kindly read the example.
Early skilled performance in using the two hands, as in clapping, and expertise in coordinative skills, such as juggling, may have an underlying basis in the ability to detect regions of stability in the dynamics and to time actions of upper body so that they are only intermittently stable. Coordination on the edge of stability in the pace relation of both hands introduces a degree of flexibility to adapt to the even tiny fluctuation inevitable in each catch and throw.
Please read the implication.
Gross motor skills have traditionally referred to motor activities that moves the body through the environment or use the large muscles of the torso, arms, and legs to transport or displace an object in some way. By contrast, fine motor skills have typically been described as involving the arms, hands, and fingers in acts of manipulation.
Enjoy reading the example.
Multiple studies have confirmed that health benefits are associated with physical activity, including cardiovascular and muscular fitness, bone health, psychosocial outcomes, and cognitive and brain health. Given that the brain is responsible for both mental processes and physical actions of the human body, brain health is important across. Therefore, children respond faster and with greater accuracy to a variety of cognitive tasks after participating in a session of a physical activity. When children who participated in 30 minutes of aerobic physical activity were compared with children who watched television for the same amount of time, the former children cognitively outperformed the latter. Children may first begin to push a ball from a seated position, but once they have gained standing stability during the toddler period, rudimentary throwing patterns appear. The developmental pattern is one in which there is a rapid transfer of support in muscle groups so that a flowing sequence of muscular action produces propulsive force at a single point of contact with the ball. Throughout childhood and into adulthood, throwing velocity and accuracy increases, and individual differences in skill become apparent in games involving throwing, hitting, or kicking a ball.
Have you noticed about developmental appropriate approach?
Rhythm, dance, songs, and sports. When I dance, I am feeling free and truly alive, responded 11-year-old Billy to his father's question of why he loves to dance in the movie Billy Elliot. The freedom people feel when dancing is the sense of finding a space where they can float day to day, rules governing the use of their body. Perhaps this sense of freedom helps explain the popularity of dancing among young people. Survey research has shown dancing to be the second most popular activity after football among school children. Promoting healthy child development, the advantage of dancing compared with traditional sports is that it provides an opportunity for young children to be active and to explore body movement capacity without the element of competition. Based on Laban's work, Stinson 1988 developed a specific dance program for preschool children consisting of 4 dance elements: body, space, energy, and time. The element body refers to what the body does while in movement, what body shapes are made. The element space refers to the space in which a person can move. It encompasses parameters like direction, forward and backward, and level, high and low. The element energy refers to the type of dynamic that is applied to the movement, strong and light movements. The last element, time, refers to the synchronization of the movement to different music tempi. The foundation of dance education in learning about how the body can move in synchronization with the beat of the music.
Enjoy reading the implication.
Sports psychology can help with performance enhancement, mental skills, anxiety management and realization, concentration and mental preparation, arousal management, team building and leadership, post-performance debriefing, injury rehabilitation. Now we will proceed to learning approaches, and the first one is activity-based. 3 stages of development of such relations are found in pedagogy. Transfer of knowledge without the ways of activity. Transfer of knowledge including the means of its application, and knowledge and activity are organically combined in the content of education. As can be seen, the highest level includes integration of knowledge and activity. Thus, there are reasons to note the increase of the role of the activity-based approach in the history of education. Development, including the relations between knowledge and activity itself. Achieving their consensus makes it possible to solve a more general educational collision which permanently arises between theory and practice.
Please read the implication.
Let us proceed to developmentally appropriate. Developmentally appropriate practices incorporate the belief that young children need to develop positive dispositions and attitudes for learning as well as concepts and skills necessary for success in school and life. An early childhood classroom that is considered to be DAP is warm and welcoming, full of bright colors but not overwhelming. Children feel free to explore the materials that are provided. The teacher is not central part of learning, but the child is. The teacher helps to encourage learning through asking questions and interacting with the students. The students' thoughts, ideas, and interaction are what develop the lessons throughout the day.
Just like Sigmund Freud, his psychosexual stages. First stage is oral stage, birth to 1 year. Erogenous zone mouth. On this level, the babies are learning how to suck their fingers or the nipples. Stage 2, 1 to 3 year old, erogenous zone bowel and bladder control. So they will learn to defecate or urinate by themselves. And next is phallic stage 3 to 6 year old, erogenous zone genitals. On this part, the young children or the young boy or girl, they will able to touch their private parts. And latent stage 6 to puberty, libido inactive. So it says they're inactive. So boys are have the confidence to play with the girls without any meaning, and likewise to girls to boys.
And next one is the standard-based approach. Curriculum refers to the instruction and academic content taught in a school or in a specific course or program, referring to the knowledge and skills students are expected to learn, which is determined by the learning standards they are expected to meet. Standards-aligned curriculum would then be the specific learning standards, lessons, assignments, and materials used to organize, teach, and assess a particular course. In addition to bringing differences in culture and language into the classroom, students learn at different rates, students have different aptitudes, they have different levels of motivation, they have different learning styles. Further, differences in aptitude, motivation, and learning style tend to increase as a student progresses through the educational system. Beyond this, students learn in a remarkable variety of organizational arrangements. Introduced into the diversity is the government-mandated curriculum with its standards and benchmark. As educators, we have to say that the idea of a standardized curriculum is a good
Please
one.
read the implication.
Next is the integrated approach. Research also suggests that an integrated approach to learning is brain compatible. The brain learns best in real life. Immersion style, multi-path, learning fragmented, piecemeal, presenting can forever kill the joy and love of learning. The more connections made by the brain, the greater the opportunity for making high-level inferences. Integrating the curriculum is also reflective of developmentally appropriate practice. The curriculum is integrated so that children's learning occurs primarily through projects, themes, or topics that reflect children's interest and suggestion. Projects and theme are valuable instructional tools for accommodating all learners in the classroom. Skills are taught as needed to accomplish project.
Enjoy reading the implication.
Lastly is the inclusive approach. All children, regardless of ability or disability, have the right to be respected and appreciated as valuable member of the school community, fully participate in all school activities, and interact with peers of all ability levels with opportunity to develop friendship. Just like my past experiences, I was able to handle 6 learners with special needs, 2 children with autism, 1 severe and 1 mild, 2 speech delay, and 2 with ADHD. However, I make myself busy and search about their cases in order for me to prepare all activities that will cater their needs. I make sure that the activities for normal, and also I can also use it for the children with disabilities, just like walking, crawling, jumping, hopping, hugging, dancing, singing, and a lot more. Through this activity, I saw though they have special needs, they can also join with the normal kids. And at the end of our class, at the end of the year, parents recognizes the hard works that I did for them, for their children, because of the improvements that happened. Moving on, the physical education curriculum framework aims the children study first about themselves. A student enters school as a unique individual, molded by genes, environment, and a certain spark within himself. An increased awareness of how special that unique spark really makes him helps that student retain that quality when the pressure is on to follow the pack. Levels of parental and community involvement. This involvement is strongly related to improvement student learning, attendance, and behavior. Family involvement can have a major impact on student learning regardless of the social or cultural background of the family. Family involvement in schools is therefore central to high-quality education and is part of the core business of school. Students who have parents engaged in their school leaves are more likely to have higher grades and test scores, better student behavior, enhanced social skills, healthier behavior, more likely to be physical active, not smoke cigarettes, and not drink alcohol.
Enjoy reading the implication.
In the context of sports economics, there is a relatively recent strand of literature focusing on the relation between sports participation, physical activity, and social capital formation. Evidence on sports participation from large-scale surveys, subsection. In this regard, sports participation can be identified as one of the ways social capital can be generated as long as the vast majority of sports are, by their nature, associational activities. Move to learn and learn to move. Just like, for example, a baby boy. He saw a very beautiful toy and he wanted to get it under the table. In order for him to reach it, he tried to move his hands and his feet, like crawling. Until he reached it, he spread his hands and he get it through his finger or his hands. Now the boy get it and he has the notion of, in order for me to get things, I have to move my feet. And in order for me to touch things, I have to hold it using my hands. So in that case, the baby will learn something new. We know that children who move well are much more likely to continue moving, and we also think that children who take part in a range of activities tend to grow into active, healthy adults. The implications of this are far-reaching. We have an obligation towards our children to ensure that they become physically educated, that they learn to be skilled and thinking movers. By Greg Dreyer, 2017.